Hello, dear friends. In the beginning, I had an intention of putting 100 and plus shortcuts in YouTube. Today it crossed 108, our holy number. Sometimes these are very helpful tools for solving. In the exam, when you solve a couple of times and suddenly you see a question for which you know the shortcut, you will be delighted. It also saves so much time. But please note that these shortcuts or tricks are only time-saving techniques or quick hack for your competitive exams, or can be helpful in verifying the answers in board exams. However, in no way it is the substitute for conceptual understanding. Okay. Hello friends. How are you? Good morning to everybody. Today, let us discuss how to find a function whether it is one-to-one or not. There are three methods. One is algebraic method. This you know, and theory you studied and you apply the same also. If x1 is equal to x2 implies fx1 is equal to fx2, then the function is said to be one-to-one. Or if x1 is not equal to x2, then fx1 is not equal to fx2, then it is not at all a one-to-one function, isn't it? Similarly, graphical method is there. You can draw that by Venn diagrams also. But here, let us apply the approach of calculus method. Okay, this will be somewhat easier. So the method is, you have to find the derivative, first order derivative. That is, suppose y is equal to fx, then you have to find f dash x, dy by dx. If the dy by dx is positive, okay, if f dash x is positive, then f will be strictly increasing or monotonically increasing, then the function will be one-to-one. If it is strictly negative, then f is strictly decreasing in the interval. So that is also one-to-one. In either case, this will be one-to-one. But what happens? Sometimes this f dash x function is increasing in some interval and decreasing in some other interval, then that is not said to be one-to-one. That may be many one. Okay, this is the procedure. Let us consider examples. Suppose f is defined from -1 to 1 to r. This is domain and range is real line. Okay. And the functional form is given by x squared plus 2x. You have to check whether this is one-to-one or not in this domain. So f dash x is d by dx of that 2x plus 2, or if you take 2 common, x plus 1. So for all values of this -1 to +1, this is open interval, not closed. So this is strictly greater than 0 for all x belongs to -1 to 1. So f is 1-to-1, isn't it? Consider this one. The function from 1 to infinity to r, 1 to infinity to real line, fx functional form is that one, To check the function whether it is 1 to 1 or not, what you have to do is f dash x is equal to, or simply f dash is equal to, what is e raised to x divided x, x cube, e raised to x cube minus 3x plus 2 into d by dx of x cube minus 3x plus 2. This will be, if you write that first, 3x squared minus 3 into e to the power x cube minus 3x plus 2. See, there is no negative values here. This will be positive only. 3 times x squared means anyway it is more than 0. So this is also positive. So the function is increasing in this interval, and therefore f is 1 to 1. Okay. See here, this is another example. F from real line to real line. Fx is equal to 2 to the power x into x minus 1, or if you want you can write this as 2 to the power x squared minus x. Okay, now you have to find f dash x. F dash x is equal to, what is d by dx of a raised to x, that is a raised to x into log a, isn't it? If it is x square, d by dx of a raised to x square, then answer will be a raised to x squared log a into d by dx of x square to x, isn't it? Similarly, you have to differentiate this. 2 to the power x squared minus x okay, 2 to the power x squared minus x log of 2 into d by dx of x squared minus x, that is 2 to the power x squared minus x, or you can write x into x minus 1 only, log 2 into 2x minus 1. This is f dash x. Now if you observe this function f dash x at 2x minus 1 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to half, isn't it? If it is half, this will be 0. That means at half, the real line, if it is less than half, this factor will be negative, isn't it? So at x is equal to less than half, this function will be, f dash x will be negative, and more than half, this will be positive. This is negative, positive. That means in this interval, f dash x is decreasing in x belongs to minus infinity to half, and f dash x is increasing in x belongs to half to infinity, isn't it? So f is not 1 to 1, it may be many one. See, if the function is from real line to closed bracket minus half to plus half, and fx is x over 1 plus x squared, then you have to check whether it is 1 to 1 or not. How to check this? Again the same procedure. F dash x is equal to d by dx of quotient rule, 1 plus x squared into d by dx of x minus x into d by dx of v, 2x it is, divided by 1 plus x squared denominator square, that is 1 plus x squared minus 2x squared, 1 minus x squared divided by 1 plus x squared whole square, isn't it? This is f dash x. Now numerator, when x is 1, the numerator will be 0. So at x is equal to 1, numerator is equal to 0, isn't it? So the functional f dash x will be ultimately f dash x is 0. So any value before this less than 1 or more than minus 1, in between minus 1 to plus 1, this will be positive. For other values it will be negative. That means in the real line minus infinity to plus infinity, this will be plus 1, minus 1, and somewhere here was plus 1. So when this is less than minus 1, this is positive. Less than minus 1, this will be negative, because I say some minus 2, x is equal to suppose minus 2, what happens? This is 4, 1 minus 4 is negative, so this will be negative, this will be positive. In this interval, that is positive. And if the value of x exceeds more than 1, then also that will be negative. So this is again decreasing. F dash x is decreasing in minus infinity to minus 1, and f dash x is increasing in 1 to infinity. So f is not 1 to 1. I hope you understand it. Elements. This is another important concept. See, for the given quadratic equation, how to find whether it is circle or hyperbola or ellipse or parabola. That means how to find a conic from the given quadratic equation. Suppose the general form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus cy plus f is equal to 0. A, B, C, D, E, F are constants. Okay. Then we have to consider the discriminant. This procedure is called as discriminant method. We have to consider the discriminant, that is b square minus 4 times ac. You know this, b square minus 4ac. Suppose that discriminant is positive, then you need not to go further. That given circle is, or given curve is hyperbola or given equation is equation of hyperbola. If b square minus 4ac is 0, then that indicates the curve will be parabola. If it is negative, then there will be two cases. When the discriminant is negative and a is equal to c and b is equal to 0, this term vanishes. Xy term is not there and these two are same, a and c are same, then the conic is circle. If b is not equal to 0 and a and c are not same, then the given conic will be ellipse. Okay, let us consider a few examples. Okay, x squared plus 3xy plus y square minus 2x. Okay, here a is 1, b is 3, c is 1, b square minus 4ac, that is discriminant, is equal to 3 square minus 4 into 1 into 1, that is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. This is positive. So D is positive means this is hyperbola. So this curve is hyperbola. Consider the second one. A is 1, B is 2, C is also 1. B square minus 4AC is equal to 2 square minus 4AC. 2 square minus 4 into 1 into 1, that is 0. If discriminant is 0 means that is parabola. So the curve is parabola, isn't it? A is 5, B is 2, C is 3. B square minus 4AC is equal to 2 square minus 4 into 5 into 3. 4 into 5 into 3, that is negative. Negative means there may be two possibilities. Either it may be ellipse or circle. But here B is not equal to 0 and A is not equal to C. So curve is ellipse. Okay. Last one, B square, A is 3, B is 0, C is 3. B square minus 4AC is in any way, this is negative, minus 4 into 3 into 3, that is negative, and A and C are same, as B is equal to 0 and A is equal to C, implies given conic is circle. Okay. See, this is another concept which is useful in your exams. Maximum and minimum values. For a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c, if a is positive, then maximum value will be infinity. Minimum value is given by 4ac minus b square by 4a. 4ac minus b square by 4a. If a is negative, minimum value will be infinity, minus infinity, and maximum value will be 4ac minus b square by 4a. You got it? If a is positive, its maximum value tends to infinity, and minimum value is given by 4ac minus b square by 4a in both the cases. Here maximum value. If a is negative, minimum value tends to minus infinity and maximum value will be 4ac minus b square by 4a. This is the Proceed. Consider these examples. These are the quadratic functions. The maximum value and minimum value we have to find. So as a is positive, maximum value will be infinity, and minimum value will be b square minus 4ac by 4a, that is b square is minus 8 squared minus 4a. 4a means 2, c is 14 divided by 4a, that is 64 minus this is it 112, 8 into 14 divided by 4 into minus 8, that is minus, how much it is, 48, minus 48 by 4a, isn't it, minus 32. You verify this answer, okay. That is 48 means 16 3s are 16 2s. You check once. And for this, a is positive, maximum value will be infinity, minimum value will be again 5 square minus 4 into 3 into 5 divided by 4 into 5, it is 25 minus 60, 25 minus 60 over 20. So this is minus 35 by 30, minus 35 by 20, or minus 7 by 4. Here a is negative. A is negative means maximum value will be b square. B square is 2 square minus 4ac, 4 into minus 1 into 21 divided by 2 into minus 1. I am applying that rule, nothing else. I am going to check only a values. If it is positive, maximum value is infinity. If it is negative, minimum value will be minus infinity. And if it is negative, maximum value will be b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. That is, here what happens, 84. 4 plus 84 divided by minus 2. So minus 88 means minus 44, isn't it? Maxima and minima for cubic function. Ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d is equal to 0. This implies x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 3ac, due to this cubic function, minus 3ac divided by 3a. Okay. With the help of that, you have to find the value of x and check whether for which value of x it attains maximum and the function attains minimum. So let us consider one example. So here x will be minus b, minus of minus 6 plus or minus b squared is 6 squared minus 3ac, minus 3 into 1, c is 9 divided by 3a. So this is equal to 6 plus or minus 36 minus 27. It is 9. Square root of 9 divided by 3 into 1, or 6 plus or minus 3 divided by 3 means, if it is plus, x is equal to if it is plus 9 by 3 is 3, or if it is minus, this is 1. So you can verify, that is 3ax plus b. 3ax plus b is equal to 3 into minus 6 at x is equal to 1. Okay, at x is equal to 1 into 1 plus b means minus 6. 3a means not minus 6, this is 1 only. So minus 6, b is minus 6, so this is minus 3. This is nothing but your y2. So y2 is 3ax plus b is negative at x is equal to 1, means f attains its maximum, and at x is equal to 3 means 3ax, this function you have to remember, 3ax plus b is equal to 3 into 1 into 3, x is 3, b is minus 6 is equal to plus 3, that is positive. So y2 is positive, implies f is minimum. F attains minimum at x is equal to 3. Say another function is, okay, here a is 2, b is 0, c is 24. Okay, x is equal to minus 0 plus or minus b square minus 3ac, 3 into 2 into 24 divided by 3 into 2, that is how much it is, the root of, is it correct, c is minus 24, yes. So 4 into 24, 96, root of 96, 66 into 24, that is it 124, 144, yes, divided by 6, so plus or minus 12 over 6, so x is equal to plus or minus 2. So at x is equal to 2, 3ax minus, how much it is, 3ax plus b is equal to y2 is given by 3 into 2 into plus 2, 3ax plus b is 0, plus 0 divided by 3a, 3 into 2 means 2 it is. So positive means f attains minimum at x is equal to 2. At x is equal to minus 2, this will be, y2 will be how much, 3x square, 3ax, this will be minus 12 by 6 is Okay, this is already over now. Again minus 2 less than 0, so f attains maximum value. You got it? Okay, consider another example. 2x cube minus 21x square plus 36x plus 20. Okay, here a is 2, b is minus 21, c is 36. So x is equal to minus b means minus of minus plus 21 minus b plus or minus b square 21 square minus 3ac 3 into 2 into 36 divided by 3 into 2, that is 21 plus or minus root of 441 minus this is 6 into this 216 divided by 6. 216 minus this will be 15 225, that is 21 plus or minus 15 by 6. So plus 5 means 36. So this is x is equal to 6 or 1, isn't it? So at x is equal to 6, this is 3ax plus b. 3ax plus b is equal to 3 into 2 into 6, so 36 minus b is 21. 21 means this is 15 positive, so f is minimum. F attains minimum value at x is equal to 1. 3 times ax plus b is equal to 3 into 2 into 1 2 minus b is plus b is 21 minus 15 it is, so this is negative, so f is maximum because y2 is negative. Okay, this is the question on vectors. If a, b, c are mutually perpendicular unit vectors, then modulus of a plus b plus c. So that is given as mutually perpendicular and unit vectors. Let us assume that a is equal to I, b is equal to j, and c is equal to k unit vectors. Then a plus b is same as ijk, that is square root of 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, that is root 3. B is the answer. Second one, if the vectors a and b are such that a plus b, modulus of a plus b is equal to modulus of a minus b, then the angle between a and b is, here also it is better to assume I and j, then a plus b is equal to root of 1 square plus 1 square, that is 2, and similarly this is also is equal to root of a minus b, therefore angle is equal to pi by 2. Okay. See, this is another example on permutation and combination. Here 1 by 6 factorial 7 factorial, you can work out this also. Okay, but if you know the rule, within a fraction of second, within some 1 or 2 seconds, you can solve this easily. So the rule is, if, sorry, not if, 1 by n minus 2 factorial plus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. So this is correct. If 1 by n minus 2 factorial plus 1 by n minus 1 factorial is equal to x by n factorial, then this implies x is equal to n square. This is the rule. Okay. Now, here if you apply n is equal to 6 here, isn't it? N is equal to 8. N is equal to 8. So, answer is 8 square, or D it is. Another question on matrices is, if A is this matrix, this is asked in NDA exam, then A inverse is how much? Very simple example. And in the first method, or traditional method, if you want to solve, you have to find determinant of A and then adjoint of A and then take the ratio. It takes some 2-3 minutes. If you see here, modulus of A is, these two are 0, means 1 into 0 minus 1. So, minus 1. Therefore, A is orthogonal. Orthogonal matrix. A is orthogonal. What do you mean by orthogonal matrix? Orthogonal matrix is one whose which is equal to transpose of inverse of its transpose. A square matrix A is said to be orthogonal if it is equal to inverse of A transpose. Orthogonal A should be is equal to A transpose inverse. If it is so, then A inverse will be A transpose only. A transpose only, isn't it? So now, what is the transpose of this? So this will be C, isn't it? First row, second row, and third, yes. Answer is C. So orthogonal, what do you mean by orthogonal vectors? A and B are said to be orthogonal if A dot vector A dot vector B is equal to 0. Orthogonal circles or orthogonal curves means it is the tangents at the point of contact. If you draw the tangents at the point of contact, then if suppose those two are perpendicular, then those two curves are said to be orthogonal curves or orthogonal circles. See, this is another interesting example and asked once JE also. If Z1 and Z2 are two complex numbers such that Z1 minus 2 Z2 over 2 minus Z1 and Z2 is not is unimodular. Z2 is not unimodular. Unimodular means whose magnitude is equal to 1. That is, z1 minus 2 times z2 divided by 2 minus z1 z2 is equal to 1, and z2 is not equal to 1. This is given not unimodular, isn't it? z2 is not unimodular. Let z2 is equal to 0, then what happens? So this will be z1 divided by 2 is equal to 1, or z1 is equal to 2. So it should be a circle of radius 2, isn't it? Thank you.